Hello pilots and welcome to MotionRC.com. I'm your product specialist Wesley, and today we are checking out the newest addition in the RotorScale large GPS helicopter lineup. This is one of the newest additions to the lineup and one of the first to ever have a 4-bladed rotor head now. Really a cool setup on this. So this is an EC-135 finished in the Medflight Little Rock scheme here. Now, out of the box, you do have to install a few decals on this aircraft, not hard at all. You have the tail number on the back, you have the air methods up here on the top, and then the Medflight Little Rock up there on the front. Now, if you want to change it to whatever you want, it's very easy to do out of the box because those don't come installed. But if you want to use them, they're water slide decals. You put them on and then you let them dry and then peel that pink carrier film off of them after they're fully dried. And that leaves you with this nice painted on look. Another thing you need to do is install your windows. I actually just used that contact cement that comes with a lot of free wing aircraft, but if you wanted, you could use canopy glue. There's a lot of different things. You just don't want to use CA because once you glue them in with that, it's going to frost the windows with some white smoke, and you never want to do that when you're putting windows into the aircraft. So use something that's going to dry clear. Outside of that, for assembly, you also have the 2 tail fins on the back. They just screw on with 4 screws, very simple to do. And outside of that, the tail rotor comes already installed. You do have to put your main blades on. They just use a bolt that goes through from the top, and then you tighten up the nut on the bottom. You want them tight enough to where they'll stay when you're moving them with your finger, but you want them loose enough to where you can still move them so they'll find center once the blades come on. It's kind of a little fine tuning there that you'll get used to, but you want them, you know, you can move it. This one's a little loose. See this, how it moves whenever I move the rotor? So that one needs to be tightened just a little bit. You want them just to where they're movable, but they're not easily just flopping around, because when you fire it up, they might flop and hit the tail or bang into each other. That's why you want them just a little tighter than that. Outside of that, it does have a working spotlight on the bottom. You have your accessory switch. You just flip it all the way down. That turns the light on. Flip it all the way back up to the top. It turns the light off. It is functional in flight. You also have the features of GPS, just like in our other 450s and 470s. You also have angle mode. Now, when you're in this mode, the GPS is disabled, so the helicopter will drift. You're gonna have to actually manually keep the helicopter where you want it, but it is still self-leveling the entire time. So pretty easy to fly in that mode. You'll also get a little more angle limit and a little more speed out of it in that mode. So really great. I usually just leave it in GPS, but it is an option. And then if you put it in full manual mode, this is a full flybarless helicopter. You're flying just like we've been learning for years how to fly helicopters. It is a little more difficult, but it's nice at the flip of a switch. You can go right back into GPS. The helicopter's going to stop wherever it is. So it's a good way to transition into full collective pitch helicopters. The final switch over on the other side is your return to home function. You hit that one, it's going to bring it back right to wherever you took off from, and it's going to land right there within a few feet. And you can, while descending, use your collective stick to move the helicopter left, right, forward, or backwards, just to get it to where it's going to land in your desired spot. The helicopter also comes with the radio completely set up and tuned for you, a charger, and a wall plug for the charger, and it also comes with a 12-volt set of leads so you can charge at the field off of your car battery. All right, pilots, now that we've gone over everything, I'm going to show you this thing start to finish here. So you can just grab right across the front here, pull forward gently, and the canopy will come off. Then we need to make sure our transmitter is turned on by holding the 2 buttons. If all your switches aren't at the top, it's going to give you a warning. We're going to flip that up to all at the top position. Now that it's fired up, we're going to take our run cut switch and put it in cut. That way the main rotor blade can't be turned on. Then we just simply reach down and plug our battery in. I like to tuck that right in there around the corner. And that right there. Now let the helicopter set. You'll see it do its little wiggle. And now we're going to wait for about 1 minute to 2 minutes until this blue indicator on top turns to green. And then we're going to be ready to fly. All right, in order to take the helicopter off, you're going to take your collective stick, go down and to the right for 5 seconds. Then we can reach up and flip it to run. Now we're going to set here and let the helicopter completely spool before we ever lift it off the ground. All right, there it is. The rotor head's at full. Now we're just going to add some collective. And she'll jump off the ground gently. There you go. And if we let go, it's in full GPS mode. It's going to set right there. Now, we can show you how good it flies in GPS. Very stable. Full stick movements is pretty gentle. If you let go at any time, the helicopter is going to come to a stop, and it's going to set there as best as it can and maintain. Now, there's not a lot of features to go over on this one. Outside of it does have the working light. Let's bring it over here in front of us. So if I set it right there and I reach up here and hit the accessory switch down, you can see that turns on the light. Be careful not to flip the run switch while you're doing it though, because it will drop out of the sky. But as you can see, we can turn the light on and off just like that. Now, you also have this switch that says GPS and angle. When you use this one, get a little altitude and be ready, because the helicopter likes to drop when you flip it into angle mode. So if we go to angle, now we're there, and we have to actually balance the helicopter. If I let go, you can see it drops. And you also unlock a lot more bank angle limit on this. As you can see, we're not in GPS. If I let go of the sticks while it's moving, it's going to continue moving. You can see it's still going. We have to actually physically stop the helicopter and hold maintain. Now I'm going to put it back in GPS. I like that mode right now. Now it also has manual mode. If you put it in that, it's a full-blown, full collective pitch helicopter. Only do that if you really know what you're doing. Now, like I said, you can fly this around. I can show you that as much as you want. It's a great flying helicopter. Bang the sticks. You can see it really doesn't care what you do. And it's going to have a great time with you. Now, let's say we're done flying, or the helicopter gets far away and you're having a hard time seeing what it's doing. It's like right here. Well, let go of everything. And this button right here is called return to home. If we flip that, watch what's going to happen. All right, I'm not touching the controls. And if we don't like where it's going to land, we can always grab the stick and move it. So let's say I don't like this. Let's pull it back a little bit. See, I can move it back where I want it now. All right, I feel like that's a good place to land. And I can walk out here to the helicopter and show you how easy this does. I like to put my hand on the cut just in case when it lands. I didn't even have to flip it to cut. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video looking at the all-new EC-135. As always, if you're interested in this helicopter or any of the other RotorScale 470 or 450 size helicopters, they're available right now here at motionrc.com. And as always, whether it's air, land, or sea, you can buy it right here at Motion RC. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye.